Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's watch party for NeverEnding Story as part of our Summer of Popcorn Season 2. As always, I'm Andrew, and I'm joined by, which way is he? That way? Dom today, of course, and Dom's back again.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dom. How are you doing, Dom?
Pretty good. Not too bad. It's chillier in Vegas. By chillier, I mean it's not 105, it's 101. A brisk 101.
It's not quite as warm here today as it was last week in the UK. It's a little more pleasant. So Sharon's saying Dom is normally on the left, or is it just me? Dom might be normally on the left, but hey, we've switched for whatever reason today. So everybody, today's sync point will be just after the Warner logo in my copy of the movie comes in, where we just see the amazing red clouds start to come in. While everyone gets queued up with that, let's do the roll call. We've got Mad Matt joining us on YouTube and on Discord. We've got Chippens, Soul Search and Destroy, Immortal Rimus, James Hellier, Joshua Nelson, hello. And then if we go through the Discord gang, we have Lizardman, Sharon, Onzi, Eric, I saw Edward the Black Prince earlier, Hannah Rose Artist, James Hellier joining us on both, Eric, Leanne, Phonic, and yeah, plenty of people. So while everyone just gets queued up, Dom, obviously you're younger than this film. When did you first
as always.
see it? When did you first see it?
I probably first saw this when I was a baby toddler being looked after by my older sister. My older brother and my older sister looked after me a lot when I was a kid. And my sister had like a load of VHS tapes that she'd run. Labyrinth being the main one. I think she wanted to sell me off to the Goblin King. But I think this one was played a lot as well, because I have very vivid memories of seeing this as like, it's like a half memory, like maybe it's a dream, maybe I'm like forcing memories into my past, but I seem to have always known this film. And I'm guessing it's because I watched it again and again and again as a child. But then I didn't see it again for like decades. So I've got this internal idea of what the film is. And then when I saw it again, more or less as an adult, it seemed slightly off, like little bits were different, like a Mandela effect kind of situation.
Okay, good point from Sharon there. Is there anyone who hasn't seen this film before?
My wife hadn't. I showed her like a couple of years ago. And I think I built up a few things for her in the wrong way. And I didn't get the response I wanted, and I kept saying how heartless she was.
It's a great film. And of course, they never made a sequel to the NeverEnding Story. They never will make a sequel. They never made a sequel to it in the way that they never made a sequel to the Matrix movies. And Eddie Murphy only had 2 adventures in Beverly Hills, as we know. So, everybody, let's do this.
Film.
Exactly. Everybody, let's do the countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. Immortal Rumor says, I remember seeing the NeverEnding Story recorded on VHS when I was about 5 in 92. I saw this in the 80s on VHS. I think it was probably about 85-ish, maybe 86 I saw it. I was younger than 10. Oh, no. No, Edward, I don't know what picture of Jack Black that film is from.
Oh, but yeah, like it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. I don't know what fever dream photo that is.
Do you miss theme songs for movies?
Yes. I miss movies having proper theme songs, proper scores, proper theme songs. And I know he's very good with a lot of stuff, but I would like proper symphonic scores these days. I just think there's a little too much modern movie music is just beating drums.
Yeah. Although, if you notice, I noticed because, you know, San Diego Comic-Con's going on right now, and there's loads of trailers everywhere. There's so many trailers that abuse 80s music.
Oh, they do.
I thought that the fad had died out, but it's still going strong.
Oh, no.
And then, of course, with Stranger Things, well, season 3 had NeverEnding Story blasting everywhere.
Well, it did.
Not Meg Myers, she did a cover of the Kate Bush song that's super popular right now. And admittedly, the fact that Kate Bush is back in the charts makes me very happy.
Chippen says that they miss movies like this before CGI. Everything organic to the touch makes movies more, organic feeling, and they should make more movies like they used to do, which I agree with in some ways. I think CGI has its place, but I think there's something to be said. Now, everybody who's watching this, I was just explaining to Dom that his Major Dad is Bastian's father. And for those of you who don't know who Major Dad is, James, that's not Boxy. That's not Boxy. That is Barrett Oliver. Noah Hathaway, who plays Atreyu as Boxy in Battlestar Galactica. Oh, this was definitely the 80s. It was a thing where people used to
in the blender,
crack eggs into orange juice and drink it for breakfast. Oof.
Rugged, manly breakfast. Puts hair on your chest.
Yeah, I tried it. I tried it once. Never again.
Orange juice and a single egg.
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
Then you tip it in a glass and you chug it. I tried it once.
Look how gross this guy's kitchen is. There's just crud everywhere.
Yeah, but the idea is, isn't it, that his mother's passed on. So he hasn't got his mother.
I tidy up my kitchen still, even when my wife goes to work, and
I know.
That's the saddest toast as well. Like, it's just bread.
No, this is the thing. He's trying to make his lunch for school. Oof. That's why the sandwich bags are on the table. He's got the butter. He's trying to make himself a peanut butter sandwich, which I think we see later in the movie.
Layers of sadness.
Now the question is, can you do that?
Who can do that? Yeah.
Who can do that?
All right, let's go.
There we go. Look at that. You do that? I used to be able to do it on both hands. Hang on, this is really...
My wedding ring is getting in the way. Forgive me,
Let's all be 10 and give ourselves arthritis. And hello, Phonic and Jedi Wizard who've just joined us. Oh, God. He's got both hands up.
Come on.
There we go. Ah.
Oh, wow. You look almost diseased.
Ow.
No, not quite. I'm failing miserably. I'm not as dexterous as I once was.
No, I'm not. Oh. Oh, frothy, eggy orange. Breakfast of champions.
Oh, God, it clings to the glass.
It does.
Oh.
Lucky him. Look as well, he's left some of it in the blender.
He couldn't dare finish it. This is a prequel to the 1980s The Blob. Clearly, this is how it forms.
Dad, you've not cleaned the jug up when you've just gone out the door.
Sir, your clock is steaming. What?
Yes, not sure about that. Yeah, Chippen's snot in a glass. Here we see the bullies. Yeah, that's true, Sharon. At least it's not stuck on his moustache.
Oh, God.
It was Immortal Promise. It was filmed in Canada. I think it was Calgary from memory. Our friend Joey Kramer, we'll talk about in a little bit, said this was filmed in, I believe, Calgary. Lizardman says, yes, the 80s bully, the simple lunch money muggers of yesteryear.
You'd think this kind of bullying wouldn't, you think the kids would know not to, press on the loss of a parent.
Yeah.
I speak from experience. They They are not beneath that.
No,
Most
Sharon's right.
kids
Sharon's right there. There were a lot of kids like him, had to get to school on his own latchkey after school. I was a latchkey kid, which is one of my reasons for my movie obsession, because we had satellite TV, which my parents bought to basically, I think, placate me at home as an entertainer. And I watched a lot of films I shouldn't have watched. And now
I
we're
miss
seeing
used bookstores.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Mr. Coriander, the bookstore owner. Who can tell me in our audience which upcoming watch party at some point in the future will we see him in that was a direct follow-up to a watch party we did earlier this year? See if anyone can work it out from my cryptic clue. That's right, James. Joey is an absolute sweetheart in real life. He's a lovely, lovely man. I've been fortunate enough to have him on 2 watch parties in the past.
I relate so much to this kid right now.
Okay, Mortal Rumus, the clue is what upcoming watch party, which I haven't scheduled yet, is the actor who plays Mr. Coriander in? And it's a sequel to a watch party or watch parties. That's another clue we did earlier this year.
I have no clue. I've got no idea.
It's a watch party that, Dom, you will very much enjoy when we do.
I'm sure I will. I rarely don't enjoy watch parties. You can always tell when I leave sour. Well, even when they're sour, I find fun. That's the beauty of this community.
Oh, Hannah, your feed buffered. We are just coming up to 9 minutes into the movie. Speaking of that, apparently there's a Nemo prequel series coming out on Disney Plus soon. It looks very interesting.
Is it going full steampunk?
I'm not sure. It's it's with Nemo's true to the book with his Indian origin, where he's supposed to be the son of a Raja. But it looks like it'll be really interesting. It's like a young Nemo series. I think it could be quite good. Any more on the no, not Critters 3, Mad Matt. No. Nope.
Critters 3 doesn't exist. Wait, no, Critters 3 does exist. It's Critters 4 that doesn't exist. Critters 3 is, to me, it's okay.
Another clue, it's something that falls under the 80s sci-fi banner. And it's a watch party that was highly requested. And here's a clue, after our first 2-part watch party was so popular with you all.
I see.
Sharon got it. He is in V. He is Father Andrews in V, the Final Battle. Lizardman says, yes, forget about it, small child, who I've clearly intrigued with my mysterious behavior. I'll just leave this supposedly dangerous book right where you can steal it.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss used bookstores. There's very few of them around anymore.
I agree with Lizardman. I think he deliberately did that.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why he looked back and nodded and smiled. Yeah,
nodding knowingly. Well, thank God the key to the attic was hidden in such a place that the child would never know about, in a box labeled attic next to the door.
the janitor really needs to be fired. Like, this is poor cleaning.
No, it's the creepy
attic that every school has.
yes, as we know.
Awesome space.
And dirty gym mats. What a...
Oh. And so many bones.
There's a startling amount of creepy, weird sort of glass jars on stands and skulls and skeletons in the school attic.
It doubles up as a warlock's sanctum, apparently.
It does. It looks like the attic from the movie Warlock.
Yeah.
In the Amish house. You're gonna see Julian Sands cutting his stomach open and flying behind him.
Right. So, how many people in the chat have read the book, NeverEnding Story?
Oh, and there's another 80s staple icon, Deep Roy.
Mm-hmm.
There's Teeny Weeny. It is a fantastic first look into this world, though, this bizarre kind of... I even like the fact that the Rock Biters cycle is basically a Fred Flintstone car.
Yeah.
It's great miniature work here, though.
Mm-hmm. The special effects are phenomenal. The makeup, everything is just great.
It's a rough adaptation of the book, Sharon. The book came out in 1979 from memory. It's a German book. Oh, welcome. Bikeys has joined us too.
Very welcome. The film is about half of the book, the first half.
Do you know something I'm really impressed with is even with the rock biter costume, the fact it flexes, but it doesn't look incredibly rubbery.
No, and it feels heavy.
Yeah.
It looks heavy.
It was Lizardman. It was the Jim Henson Creature Shop who did the puppetry for this, which makes sense.
Ah, yes.
Yes, Immortal Promise, exactly as Dom just said. You never read the book, but yeah, it's basically the first half of the book. The movie's an adaptation of. And I know our friend Onzi watched, as I referred to him, there's a very interesting different cut of the movie out there on Blu-ray. It's like an extended German cut. It's in English. It's got a few different scenes in it, but also the score is completely different. And including Teeny Weeny, Deep Roy's character, is dubbed over with kind of this weird cowboy accent. There's just some very strange things in it.
I do like how his head, like the very tip of his head, is kind of gyrating. It's quite
like
adorable.
A little mountain, though, his head, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the score to this film is so atmospheric. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it pulls you in. There's something so childish about, in a positive way, childish about the plot. Yeah. And then the more you think about it, the more horrifying the concept is.
Yeah. It becomes existential. Well, ultimately, I'll sum up at the end of the film. I'll sum up at the end of the film what I feel it's trying to say. Yeah, Immortal Rumor says the voice of Rockbiter reminds me of Treebeard from Lord of the Rings. I think an adaptation of The Hobbit. If it had been made in the 80s, as from what I read in it, could have been pulled off. It could have been. And of course, this is the Rockbiter's voice is Alan Oppenheimer, who is most famous as the voice of Skeletor in the original Masters of the Universe series. And of course, he was one of the Dr. Rudy Wells actors in the $6 Million Man. But he voices in this film Rockbiter, Falkor, Gmork, and he narrates the movie. It's pretty awesome. I do like how fast this film moves as well. It's really, really, the pacing and it's really tight.
Yeah, it's weird. A lot of the fantasy films from this era, they just don't linger, do they?
No.
They move at such a quick pace. Like when we did Return to Oz,
yeah,
it just goes snap, snap, snap. And I'm trying to pinpoint the time where that change. I think it was Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I don't get on with those movies. But James Hellier's right. A lot of films should be 90 minutes long. Don't stretch the story out for the sake of it. But I just love this. I love the sort of great little trio we're seeing here, where you've got a man with his bat that
super fast on, snail,
yeah, and a man with a racing snail.
Clouds have never been so ominous, have they?
Great pup. Again, it's as we said, it's Jim Henson's puppet shop. So expressive. The look on his face right now.
I used to like explaining this film to my mates in the playground as a kid. So who's the bad guy, they'd say? And I'd be like, nothing.
Nothing.
What you mean nothing's the bad guy? Well, you know, it's the opposite of stuff.
Mad Matt, if you think the Deep Roy voiceover is disconcerting in this, it's a lot better than the Deep Roy voiceover in the German edition, where he sounds more like a cowboy. Nice list. Also, Mad Matt, well done for lifting a joke from Trading Places. Oh, the score. This song is actually called The Ivory Tower on the soundtrack. I do have this on my phone. I've had it for years in my iTunes music collection. It's just such a great, the synth music in this is tremendous.
I've tried using it in D&D games that I run, and no one has pinned it yet. Like, no one knows where it's from. Disappointing.
Yeah.
On the note of D&D games, the names of the characters in this, I was about to say book, in this story, they are such fantastical, awesome names, like Bastion, Artax, Atreyu.
Yes.
They're so cool.
Exactly. The only thing is, and you would probably appreciate this, Dom, maybe some of the other British people, when people pronounce the name of the horse wrongly in the UK, because we have Artex in the UK, which is a text. So Americans, you call it popcorn ceiling, where you have like textured paint on the ceiling. But we call that Artex, Artex in the UK. And unfortunately, most British people refer to Artax as Artex, which is a bit...
Ceiling popcorn.
Yeah.
I also miss like matte paintings like this, like just extending a scene, but still making it physical and real. I think this is where CG could really make something pop in the background and make it shine, adding waterfalls and things like that. I want to know more about this council.
Yes.
The Easter Island heads.
Honestly, we're just coming up to 22 minutes in. Yeah.
Look at them.
They blink as well. I mean, everything's so well done. The Mortal Room says, because this is a world of fictional characters' imagination, I think E.T. characters like E.T. could make a cameo here. Oh, I don't want to see E.T.
Please don't give... Is it... Well, Warner Brothers did this release for sure, but don't give them any more ideas. They've already done Looney Tunes, like Space Jam 2.
That's interesting. Hannah Rose says, this feels more real than the 2021 Dune, maybe because of how alive and colourful everything is, or am I suffering from misplaced nostalgia? Well, I think one of the things is everything is real you're seeing here. And don't get me wrong, 2021 Dune I liked, but some of it didn't feel right, like a lot of films. And then, again, I'm not going to have a whinge about CGI. I think it's quite common, because I mean, there's times where it's been excellent, but there is something about something physically existing and actors interacting with it.
True. I will disagree with you. I think 2021's Dune was amazing. I loved it. I'm a fan of the books, though, so I've been burnt on so many adaptations, including David Lynch, who can do no wrong in my heart.
Exactly, Sharon. Dune is a difficult story to encapsulate, no matter be it the 80s or 2021.
Mm-hmm. It's incredibly difficult. It's such an ancient story as well.
Edward's saying, yes, that's a bison. What I will say, speaking of bison, I'm not a vegetarian, and if you do find yourself in Disney World, please go to Wilderness Lodge, to a place called Geyser Point. They do a life-changing geyser burger. Not geyser burger, bison burger.
Bison burger.
A bison burger with what we would call a blackberry over here, a blackberry barbecue sauce, and it is just incredible. So, yeah.
Getting me hungry now.
Wolfram is saying, I like the effects in Dune, but it felt a little pretentious. It was all right. It wasn't, but I kind of agree with you. And here we are. Now we are seeing Boxy, whoever posted the Boxy earlier. We're seeing Noah Hathaway. The first Harry Potter. Chip and Zaz on holiday in Disney World, so it's not too far to nip for a burger. The only thing I'd say about Atreyu in this, his hair looks like he stepped out of a shampoo commercial.
I think it's fabulous. I wish I had hair like that. Oh, that kid in the background with the giant fairy wings is so irritated. I mean, I would be too. Those things look heavy. It's clearly a producer's kid or something. It's just upset.
But the music in this is just great. It just, when it comes in, it's just so good.
The children actors in this film as well are above standard. I'd say they're pretty damn good. It's difficult to
but you've got to remember that at the time, Noah Hathaway was quite an accomplished child actor.
That's true, yeah. Plenty of things under their belt. You have my bow and my axe. I love the color hue here as well. It's very pleasant.
And the Orin, the necklace. That's just such a cool design.
It is. whenever I read like fantasy books as a kid, whenever there would be a character who'd get a description and they were on the front cover, I'd do the exact same thing that Bastion's doing here. Constantly flip back and look at the portrait on the front.
I just love the shots of all this. You can see him going on his quest. The establishing shots of him riding the horse are just awesome. The cinematography is wonderful in so many ways.
It is.
Look at that, the horse is running in the opposite direction as well.
Any screenshot could just be a painting. It's beautiful.
Immortal Recycler, I'd love to see a 4K collector's edition with that symbol on the cover, the case shape, to look like the book in the movie. Actually, Eric, you're saying they never made a video game of this movie. Yes, they did in the UK on the 8-bit home micros. I know there was some there.
God, if you were just to say fantasy movie,
yeah, I mean that is
this scene,
book.
babbling brook, willow trees just arcing. All the horse needs is a horn, and there we go. We got fantasy.
It is textbook fantasy.
I'm so terrified for the actor having the horse's hoofs so close to them.
Joshua Nelson, good point as well. Of course, that is. Oh, here we go. He's going to eat that sandwich he made earlier.
Yeah, that depressing sandwich. I got an apple as well, at least.
No, don't do that. Don't half eat a sandwich because they go stale after about 10 minutes, don't they? 15 minutes. The edges will be all nasty.
Oh, yeah. They're going to go...
Again, everyone, as you say, Dom, every one of these shots is literally out a fantasy. Oh, Edward the Black Prince says, in all fairness, if he wasn't reading this book, all this suffering wouldn't be happening. Then Lizardman says, no, well, now you're getting into existentialism. Do any stories happen until we read them? I know. It's
an existential crisis.
Look at that with the crystals and just great.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'd love to just take a stroll in this fantasy world. How is
I don't know. Would you want to stroll with a big green glowing-eyed wolf chasing you?
As long as I don't know it's there, it's fine. It can devour me when I'm not looking. Even this swamp, it's gorgeous. It's horrifying, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Do you know though? I get from this scene in the swamp, and I think the other watching it will know as well. Krull.
I was about to say Krull.
Krull. Krull, which kind of has the Evil Dead kind of evil possess the priest that they have to kill in the.
Yeah. I'd say Krull's area is like a solid A. This is definitely a solid A plus though. This definitely looks better than Krull.
Oh, it does. Okay, everybody. The scene is coming. Come on, we'll get through this together. We've got to be strong. We'll get through this. Oh. That's just awful place to be.
As a kid, my grandfather raised horses. I used to go over all the time and ride the horses. I had a very strong connection to horses as a kid.
Well, Hannah just said about a big paragraph about effects and then finished with, also, screw this scene. Wow. That horse genuinely looks sad.
I know.
Come on, don't be sad, Artax.
Yeah, it means that Artax was sad. He was
The
a depressed horse.
Sad eyes. Oh. Oh.
Where's my dog when I need him? I want to give him a hug.
That poor horse is thinking about the potential sequels they may make to this film.
I imagine if they made a sequel to this movie. Oh God, this, that.
That poor horse is thinking, God, you're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Noah Hathaway, great acting here. Yep, that was a scene.
Screw that scene.
Yeah.
33 minutes in.
Oh, and they've given him like apart from his real tears, he's got like a mud tear on his face as well. Like a single mud tear.
And a snot streak coming down.
Yeah.
Everyone's ugly crying.
I wish I could have cameras all people watching, just do a supercut of going to everyone who's crying watching this scene right now. Go from Atreyu to Bastian to everyone. Oh, it is terrible. It's sad. But I'll be fair, for a kids' movie, it had a lot of balls to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, a third, basically just a little over a third into the movie, and it kills the hero's horse on screen in a really horrific way.
Because the horse was sad.
Yeah. Come on. Atreyu. But I love the swamp is, I know it looks awful, but it looks beautiful how it's shot as well.
Yeah.
Good point, Lizardman. So how come Atreyu doesn't think he's plenty sad now? He was sad, but he still kept going. Artax had given up, which is why he sank.
Yep.
So when the sadness overtakes you, he didn't let the sadness completely overtake him because he's kept going.
This shot as well. This is like an album cover.
Yeah. It does immortalize. It does talk. It does teach kids at an early age about life and death. This is why it's a great movie.
It's one of the movies that sticks with you.
Yeah.
And it's the goal. It's the poster child for kids'
Fantasy.
Movies don't need to be soft and sweet.
I mean, this is the
silly.
absolute gold standard headliner for fantasy movies.
Oh, for sure. This is like the fantasy movie when you think of fantasy films.
I love this as well. It's just the film is just so creative. Just so creative that
Oof. My hips felt that.
Yeah.
Got to make me think of an Elden Ring boss or something.
And you've got to be fair to poor Noah Hathaway here. They must have had to hose him off.
But also how quickly he just climbed up that tree.
Oh. I've never screamed at a book before. I've been reading. Have you?
Yeah, but not like in that way. More like a "oh, go screw yourself" book kind of way.
Yeah, I've never let out an audible scream. Has anyone on YouTube or Discord ever let out an audible scream reading a book?
Or gasped or had any kind of audible reaction?
Yeah. Exactly, Mad Matt. It is very much like a cosmic world turtle.
Oh, yes, for sure. Oh.
So, for those who don't know, the voice of Mauler here was Robert Easton, who was the Klingon judge, quite famously, in Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country.
Kind of sounds like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. Pineapple.
Ooh. Onzi, they are both Time Bandits, and Baron Munchausen are both on the Watchparty list of films. There's only so many weeks in a year. We only do 52, maybe 53 in a year, but they are on the list, and I'm working my way through them.
Classics.
Yeah. But we do have a lot of fun stuff lined up for this year. And of course, with the rest of the summer of popcorn.
Got a good point there, Trey. That's the beauty of nihilism. If nothing matters, everything matters.
Yep. I do have to be honest, this does sound more like an older woman's voice for Mauler, even though it's a man. It's quite interesting.
I think it drastically affected my old person voice that I do for every old person. That and Deckard Cain from Diablo.
Oh, God. And now he's staying in school. The kids
After hours.
After hours. But I suppose this is also highlighting and compounding the fact that Bastian's father. Don't worry, Immortals. We've got some Halloween and whatever stuff lined up this year. We always do. I try and schedule films for the seasons and the holidays where possible. So yeah, this is highlighting Bastian's father being somewhat. I don't want to say he doesn't care. I don't think that's the right thing. Luckily, he does care about his son. But is he preoccupied? Is he still dealing with the grief around the death of his wife? James, we've already watched Life Force a while ago, but it could be a rewatch at some point.
I can't imagine how my mother coped when my dad passed, because she had 3 kids to take care of. So she couldn't stop working to take care of me. No. And I know I had, the childhood kind of resentment of my mum should be with me more, especially now.
Yeah.
looking at it from an adult's perspective.
She was doing everything she could to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes staying away is the best thing you can do for a kid. However, staying after school and being tortured by set decorations and wind is probably not the. I'd prefer to be home.
Poor Noah Hathaway here. They are just putting through.
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna wade through mud with a horse that dies, then you're gonna climb up a giant turtle mountain and get covered in more mud as you fall off, and then you're gonna wade through more mud again.
After climbing a tree several times, falling off it, mud probably is pretty slippy as well, considering the mud.
Yeah.
And by the way, none of this is going to be heated. It's all going to be nice and chilly, so the fog sits on it nicely. Didn't quite get that shot, Noah. Back it up again. Let's reset the scene.
So, yeah. Good point. Good point, Edward. It's almost like they should have given the boy a flying creature. I don't know, maybe a bird or maybe a rat with wings. But here we are. One of the greatest film characters ever. I mean, who doesn't love Falkor?
The Deus Ex Machina that is Falkor, yeah.
Do not speak ill of Falkor. I will not hear a word against Falkor.
I love Falkor too.
Everyone loves Falkor.
Everyone needs a Falkor in their life. Look, he's halfway through the book already. Way to go, dude.
Immortal Rumors says, after my dad passed away when I was 7, my mum was left to raise me and my 2 older brothers, so you know exactly what you went through, Dom. Yeah.
Trauma bros.
Oh, Falkor is amazing. He's a bit like a dog. But
yeah, he's like a dog. He's a luck dragon, isn't he?
He's a luck dragon, yeah. He's a kindly dragon, though.
Yeah. He's got the same head shape as my dog, Bones, who, again, isn't coming when I'm trying to summon him. Got the same claws as my dog, Bones, as well.
But again, look at the detail on the Falkor model. I mean, the scales, the kind of crystally pearl shimmering, well, iridescent, I think is the best way to describe them, the scales.
The human teeth creep me out a bit.
Yeah.
I prefer fangs.
He's got kind of dog fangs. But...
How something that big can seem so kind is just masterfully done.
Yeah, I mean, the puppetry work here is incredible for the time.
That line should be creepy.
Yeah.
And the fact that Skeletor is doing this, again, should be unnerving.
The only thing I don't like about this bit here is where he's trying to scratch behind his ear and he can't do it. I think it's called scooting, where dogs rub their butt on the carpet and drag themselves along. I don't want to see Falkor scooting.
Someone needs to recut all of the Falkor scenes to make him so much more sinister.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be difficult.
No, but he's awesome. Awesome.
He is. It's so articulate. I can't imagine how many people.
The nose is amazing.
Yeah. And puppetry goes so underappreciated.
That's still 100 odd miles to go on foot.
Oh yeah, it's no small feat, but he has to have a challenge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll have angry people on the internet say, "Well, why didn't Falcor just take him all away?"
Yeah. Eric saying, is this on scale? They use camera trickery. Falcor was a full-size puppet.
Yeah,
Life-size-
Falcor still
life-size.
exists
Yeah.
in Germany. I almost saw it. It was this close. If only I had a luck dragon on my side, I would have been able to make it in time before the place closed.
Oh, Multrum says, I always thought that Falcor is based on huge dogs. They're so huge, they don't need to be aggressive because no one would mess with them. I don't know. I think I don't know. Maybe he is a bit dog, bit dragon. It's very much an Asian-inspired dragon, as Hannah Rose said, very similar to the kind of the Haku dragon we see in Spirited Away.
It's the dog ears, but they just make him cuddly. Is it just me that gets vibes of Princess Bride from this pair?
Well, actually, I get vibes of another film we've got a watch party for later this year.
Wait a minute. Get out of my life, wench. I need to add that to my lexicon.
Yeah, I suggest you don't say it to your wife, though.
No, she'll just beat me up. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm a well-kept husband. I have this on my desk for a reason. I know who wears the trousers in this relationship.
Now then, who can tell me? So I'm going to give you if you can guess. There's a character in this scene who was in another fantasy film, and that's a watch party lined up for the 27th of November. In the character in this scene. No Dom answer, but let's take the answers from the community and from YouTube. It's got the schedule of our watch parties up.
Yeah, I just looked, so I know what it is. So that's why there's no Dom answers.
It's not Princess Bride, Mad Matt. So come on, Discord community, you never let me down normally. Who can work out what that watch party on the 27th of November is with one of the actors in this scene? Expert.
Somewhat of an expert.
No, Joshua Nelson, it's not Legend over on YouTube.
No. But you're in the right realms.
Yes. I think this shot might have been done with some kind of a forced perspective thing, because it doesn't look like it's imposed.
So the winch wench.
Any more guesses from our Discord community of what the film would be? Yes, Sharon, you're right. Sharon gets it. It will be Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can't wait for. That's a really great film. I love the intricate sort of models and the sets here. We see a tray who's only slightly bigger than sort of the big wheels, etc.
This observatory is so cool, and it's something that like a kid would construct.
Yeah, but
out of junk.
But if you notice, those jars in that magic telescopy thing he's got there appear to be very similar to the jars in the room where Bastian is. How much of the stuff in that weird and wacky attic at school is he bringing into this fantasy? But then it's like dreams, isn't it? It's like dreams where you can dream about something during the day, and then when your mind's sorting it at night, something you've had an interaction during the day or thought about can enter into your dream.
Yeah, you incorporate it in.
Mm.
I've seen many examples of that happening already, like when Bastian pictures Atreyu in his mind and he looks at the Native American with the bison.
Yeah.
Even the Orin, when he looks at the front cover.
Exactly. It's really, really cleverly. I love the fact as well with fantasy, it's not beholden to anything. So we can see this hero
Egyptian.
who's coming now. Well, that's a bit Egyptian, but then we've got like a knight. We've got like a medieval knight now who's.
This is definitely something from Dark Souls, like.
This is really brutal, this scene as well.
Yeah.
But Atreyu's still brave enough to try.
Even though he's witnessed someone bigger, stronger, more armor-clad fail miserably.
Exactly. Hannah Rose Artist said, Bastian turned his father into the nihilistic turtle. Could the childlike empress be inspired by his late mother? Who inspired these sphinxes or Falcor? I don't know.
Gets there rather quick, doesn't it?
Do you guys, because Mad Matt just mentioned a movie, would you guys like me to add My Stepmother is an Alien to the watch party list? I think we should at some point. I'll put it to the list. It won't be scheduled immediately, but I'll put it on the list of movies to get through. We'll watch it.
Yeah, as long as we don't have another Mac and Me watch party, I'm okay.
Mac and Me is superior to E.T. in every way.
Agree to disagree.
Again, score, just great visuals. Everything's just
amazing.
It is.
I've just noticed their breasts are uncovered.
Yes, and there's a lot of
how
people
did I
commenting
not see
on
that as loot the body?
Mad Matt saying, Mad Matt just said booby trap. Eric, that's a good point. But that's the fantastic thing about this world. He said, I'd always like to know the story of that knight who's dead.
Mm.
And Joshua Nelson says, yes, I agree. Mac and Me is better.
It's okay. We're all allowed to have opinions, even if they're incorrect ones.
Immortal Rumors says, wait, it wasn't E.T., it was Mac from Mac and Me and the cameos in the palace scene earlier. Oh. But this is his doubt, isn't it, now, creeping in?
Yep. I have yelled like what to do to a character at a book before.
Run! Come on, run! Come on! Yes.
The kid's got a good run. Like, I know actors that can't run to save their life. They look terrible on camera when they run, but that was a good sprint.
Oh, this film, this must be hundreds of times I've seen it. It still hits the beats every time when you're watching it. That you're happy. Oh.
Oof.
His avatar, even. Oh, now Noah, we're going to put you through a storm, basically a blizzard. It won't be real snow, but
we chopped up potatoes.
Yep. Now, here's a question. Did J.K. Rowling, I'm not going to say, I'm going to have to use the word allegedly because I don't want to get as accused of anything, but do you think J.K. Rowling was potentially inspired by this scene with the Mirror of Erised for the Harry Potter films?
Quite
where you see your true desire and self in the mirror.
We all know J.K. yoinked everything, allegedly, from the epic motion picture Troll. So
yes. So, in theory, he was the first Harry Potter to look into a mirror that reveals your true self. Whoa.
So J.K. just... Oh, it gets better. Just followed the career of Noah instead of anything else. How surreal would that be? You start reading a book, it's about a character who then looks in a mirror and sees
you.
Two dudes watching a movie, streaming it to many people on the internet.
Immortal Rumors is saying, I'm starting to see a lot of things J.K. Rowling, I'm going to use the word borrowed instead of that for Harry Potter these days. Or was inspired by, potentially.
There's very few stories that are wholly unique these days.
Yeah.
Can never forgive you for doing that to a book.
No, you know, you creased all those pages. I don't like books with creased pages.
Most of my books, even though they're thoroughly read, have pristine spines, more or less. I'm so delicate when I open books.
You put on cotton gloves and...
Yeah. Lace elbow-length gloves like Poirot.
So the latchkey kid is now spending the night overnight in school, setting a fire basically to read.
In the school, candlelight fire in the haunted attic.
Yeah. And his dad's...
with a blanket?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful shot. Again, an album cover.
Yeah. Mortimus is asking a question, though. What would you do if you turned out to be a fictional character in another universe, dimensional reality? Well,
I'd say that's about right.
Yep. Quite often I wonder if I'm in some weird artificial reality. Yeah, Sharon's saying even a latchkey kid we missed at home eventually. I'd agree with you there, Sharon, but it depends on how late it would be. On how late the parents got home.
Mm-hmm.
And if his father, if he was getting home, taking himself to bed, basically putting himself to bed, and his father would actually bother to check on him when he got home. Might not notice till the morning when he wasn't there for breakfast.
For the Breakfast of Champions, you mean?
Yep.
What's the matter, son? You've barely touched your egg and orange juice.
Your eggy orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharon, exactly. Bedtime or breakfast. He'd be missed at least, or so you'd hope. But that's a real shot of clouds above mountains and things. How beautiful is that shot?
Yeah.
Calbot says, Dad went to hospital for the food poisoning from the salmonella and the raw eggs he drank for breakfast.
I hope Bastian's okay. I hope he doesn't eat the eggy orange.
He's been out on the work. Oh, unless he left the eggy orange for Bastian's dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this song. It's called Happy Flight on the soundtrack. By the way, I recommend anybody, if you haven't got the NeverEnding Story soundtrack, to get it. It's just full of great synth music like this.
It's a clever way of showing a lot of awesome vistas and just cutting down a lot of the travel time. Just have montages.
Yeah, exactly. Emil from us says, I feel like how Atreyu feels there when I have enough money for an Uber home instead of walking miles.
Just in the back of the Uber. Yeah!
Yes.
Just going to see the Shining soon.
I've got a side question for everyone about Uber drivers. Would you rather have an Uber driver who's quite quiet? I mean, okay, well, so you've got two Uber drivers. They both drive very well, whatever. But you've got one who constantly tries to engage you in talking, and one who you just say hello to, and they're a bit like, hello. And that's it, but they don't engage back with you.
Depends how many beers I've had.
Right. Okay, I'm saying sober. I'm saying a 10 a.m. Uber.
Be silent.
You want a silent Uber?
Oh, I hate seeing Falcor be hurt and upset.
Yeah. We're going down.
It's like, why'd you fly us dead into it, Falcor, you gorm?
Yeah. Sharon says quiet Ubers are better. Leanne likes the quiet Uber driver. And Eric says, we don't have Ubers here.
I love a good chatty Uber driver when I'm in the mood for it. Like having a nice, good conversation with an absolute stranger can be great.
When I was on vacation, we had one Uber driver who was insisting we go to this restaurant. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll go.
Do you have
we'll
a steak in it or something?
I don't know. But he's insisting we go to this restaurant. It's a chain restaurant as well.
You've got to try out this Wendy's. It's amazing. Just the right amount of greasy.
Yeah.
You got out the restaurant now. What was it?
It was what was it? It was Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, he must.
I will say, Dom, though, as a Brit, have you been to a Longhorn Steakhouse before?
I don't think so.
Oh, just be warned. Well, you'll know this from living in America now. The portions are staggeringly scary.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah. There is this steakhouse in Vegas that I need to go to, medically need to go to. I'll send you the menu later on, but apparently it's this medieval themed thing where you can put on the armor and use the swords and such. It's amazing. The cocktails come in these little goblets, and the steaks are apparently top notch as well.
Oh, I have to look at that. Yeah, when I went to when I went to Texas Roadhouse, they brought the starter, and I was like, "Oh, is that for the table?" No, that's for the oh, okay.
Just for you, mate. Again, this set. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous little set piece. And I miss sets. I was watching something, can't quite remember what it was.
That's a really sad thought.
What
Imagine
happened?
if Falcor, after this film today, was working as a flying Uber.
Very chatty Uber.
Oh, he's realizing the futility of his situation.
Like I said, gets existential.
Really does. Oh. Oh, he's got tears in his eyes. The rock march, if you look, he's actually crying.
Ah, the futility of it all, eh?
Yes, exactly. Exactly, Lizardman. The giant rock golem with survivor's guilt. You don't expect this in a fantasy movie. No. I mean, he's basically having a break. He's had a breakdown now. And it's like everyone's preparing to accept the futility of their ultimate death.
It's one of the things you can't fight, isn't it?
Oh. Oh, Edward, that is on the list, but not at the moment. But it's on the list of films to watch. We will watch Clash of the Titans at some point. 1980s version. We go now. Treyo is finding paintings of elements of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, Onzi. That's a good point. Is the Rockbiter related to the Gnome King from Return to Oz? But he's a good Gnome King.
Yeah. Why would you remind the poor kid of that moment in his life of all the ones you could pick? Oh, everyone get ready for that jump scare.
Yeah. I do love the fact, though, that they built these intricate sets for basically just a few minutes in the film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. The point I was scrambling to get to. Recent shows, when they use an abundance of CG to make fantastic sceneries, yeah, they look usually quite good, especially when there's a large budget behind them. But there's something really special about these sets, something pleasant and real feeling.
Yeah.
Like, even when they are totally non-realistic, they feel like a place.
Walk. Yep. I do wonder how much this film and this story inspired. I think it's called, is it Monster at My Window or something?
I don't know, I'm unfamiliar with that one.
No, Monster Outside, hang on.
I swear there's been musings of a NeverEnding Story remake. I'm sure there has. But it doesn't need one.
Sorry. A Monster Calls.
When was the last time a remake was good?
Do you mean I'll say there've been some good TV show remakes of old movies and things where it's been expanded out.
Like what? I'm genuinely asking because I can't recall one.
Cobra Kai.
Okay, but that's a sequel.
Okay, sequel.
Cobra Kai is amazing.
Cobra Kai is incredible.
I need to keep watching it.
Yeah, Phonic Dread. Yeah. Oh no, Cobra Kai season 5 in September. Everybody.
Ooh, I still haven't finished season 2. I need to catch up.
Yeah, exactly, Hannah Rose. Those without hope are easy to control. That line gave them chills.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Bear in mind, this author is German. How much is some of this based on events?
Yeah. I wish I could have Atreyu's bravery sometimes. If I'm going to die anyway, I want to die fighting. Exactly. I'm going to leave this world the way I came in, kicking and screaming.
Well, I mean, I was going to say Michael Ender, who wrote the NeverEnding Story, just briefly looking at his history page here, his life was hugely impacted by the atrocities in Nazi Germany during the war. So you can see where the line, you can see where the line, those without any hope are easy to control.
Those adorable little cuts there. I can imagine them in the cutting room floor going like, how are we going to get this puppet to pick up the thing? Just cut it, it's fine. It works.
Okay, Joshua Nelson says The Blob being being a good remake.
Yep.
And
The Blob, The Fly, The Thing.
True Grit with Jeff Bridges was better than John Wayne.
Yes. I agree with that.
I'm going to be honest. I really liked the remake of Magnificent Seven.
I haven't seen it.
With Denzel Washington in it. I really liked it. Hannah Rose says, I am Atreyu. Come at me, bro.
Admittedly, my brain did rewrite that to come at me, bro, as well. My inner monologue Clippy came up and was saying, did you mean to say?
Onzi says The Ring was a good remake.
Whenever they go from different parts of the world, especially in a short time span, like from Ringu to Ring, I don't consider them remakes. It's weird. It's like more like an adaptation to me, but I do understand that it is a remake. And I would agree, The Ring is a good example. There's something blissful and serene about this.
It is.
Big weight to bear, kid.
Yeah.
But who hasn't been there, eh?
What? Flying around a fantasy world that has been destroyed on the back of your
luck dragon.
Luck dragon, yeah. It's a
weekly occurrence. Time.
it's a weekly occurrence for you, isn't it, Dom?
It is. It is. It's tough.
There it is. It'd be really bad if it just exploded in front of them right now. Like, ooh. Okay, Mortimer says, a great triple bill at the cinema of 80s horror remakes. Better than the originals would be The Blob, The Fly, and John Carpenter's The Thing.
Agreed. The remakes with the at the beginning tend to be great. Also, yeah, the trilogy of 80s remake of 50s movies.
I like the fact that the Ivory Tower has a landing pad for luck dragons.
Yes, exactly. There is no stopping in a red zone.
Oh, don't do
that. What
did
you do to that apple, my boy? He only had 2 chomps in it, and the next scene just decimated it.
He ate that like Diana eats a hamster in V, which his jaws.
Like a cartoon eats a chicken, just puts it in the mouth and pulls out the stem. The way it's angled with the shadow, I thought Falcor was like really thick towards his lower end. I'm like, whoa, need to lay off the whatever luck dragons eat, children. He does still look he's about to model for a hair commercial, L'Oreal.
When I was a kid, I had such a crush on her when I was like 10.
I can see it, yeah. I'm pretty sure I did as well as a child, but I had so many crushes back then. Oh my God, I just realized that gash like near his neck. Oof.
Yeah. It's got to be. It's a hell of a twist right now.
Yeah. Just remembering the book and realizing that, yeah, Bastion's the real hero of the story, not Trey. It's definitely how the book goes. How irritated would you be right now? You're a Trey. Like, but I did everything.
How long has he been there as well? Look how much those
Low
candles
the candles are, yeah.
Yeah. Mad Matt just posted a picture of Fabio for some reason. I'm not entirely sure, but AL
the hair, the fabulous hair.
Lizardman's saying, okay, if this happened to me, I'd seriously be freaking out.
Again, I'll be like, yeah, that's about right. I'm the taxi driver for someone else's protagonist moment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Edward the Black Prince says, again, all of this is happening because he opened the book. Stop praising him.
Yeah.
So it goes to another layer.
Oh, God.
No, just as he's reading your adventures, others are following his. So,
yeah. The fourth wall was shattered a while ago.
This is where the narration goes, and there are two strange British men, one in America, one in the UK, watching. And we're like,
wait a minute. Again, the actress playing the Empress could have made it so goofy.
Yeah.
But she's incredibly, like, stern, not stern, but mature and regal in her.
The term I'm going to use is maternal.
Yeah. Deirdre.
Exactly, Edward. It almost gets a bit Spaceballs, but serious with the layers.
Yeah. Fast forward to the bit where we are in the book.
Yeah.
Those candles have become nothing now. Just puddles. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Don't listen to your dad's nonsense. Be yourself, Bastion.
Don't drink his eggy orange.
Yeah. Sharon, we saw he had matches earlier in the movie. And the name he gives her is Moonchild, which, from my understanding when I looked into this before, he would play fantasy games with his mother when she was in hospital because she had a long protracted death. And when you play fantasy and role-playing, etc., with his mother, sort of child playing, that was her name in their fantasies. She was Moonchild, and that's why he gave her that name. It's not his mum's real name, but kind of her fantasy name. I love this scene though. I just love the simplicity of the two kids in a nothing black room.
All of you in the Discord server and on YouTube,
Yeah,
you all have that one wish right now. What is it you're wishing for?
very
Come
good
on,
point.
let us know. If any of you say a glass of eggy orange, you're despicable and you need to get out. We welcome everyone here, including those that like eggy orange.
I'm posting my one wish in the Discord. Yes, what a great shot.
I like the idea that his wish was just to ride Falcor. Oh.
Yeah, Hannah Rose says, right decision, Falcor ride. I do love this though. He's flying around, he's just waving at people. What a great sort of climax montage to the movie though. This is just awesome.
Yeah. And look,
we can see it, but we see Artax is back, so it's all okay. The horse was revived. Fonzie.
Go and torture the bullies.
Now, everybody, this is going to be a very interesting thing here. So, our friend Joey Kramer, when we spoke to him, informed me that in this scene, one of the kids was actually ill when they were shooting this scene, and the bully that actually jumps into the dumpster on the day, because I believe the kid had chicken pox, and from the long shot, Joey Kramer filled in for the kid. So when you, like I say, when you see the kid jump into the actual dumpster, apparently it's Joey.
Get him, Falcor. The army gets called in like, oh wait, it's kind of the Mounties get called in to attack the
that's right,
the dragon is rampaging through the city.
Lizardman, he's gone mad with wishing power.
Well, that is what happens in the rest of the book. It takes a dark turn after this point.
It does. A couple of people saying, why didn't you wish for Falcor to eat them? Oh, Mad Matt's posted a picture of the Wishmaster. Oh, now we hear that amazing theme. Well, everybody, that was the never-ending story. At 1 hour 34 minutes, it's not quite never-ending, but it's perfectly paced. I think it just moves beautifully. It doesn't have any slow moments. It never drags. It doesn't stay too long. It's a fantastic film, this. I'm so happy we watched this today. Did you enjoy yourself, Dom?
Always. It's always pleasant. And it's one of those films where you feel a absolute cacophony of emotions. You go through a total roller coaster. joy, deep, deep, deep wells of sadness. But it's great. You need to feel these things, and it's nice to be reminded. Watching it now for the first time in a couple of years, I still hit those highs and lows. It's such a well-crafted film that does everything quite effectively. It's just pleasant.
Well, Jedi Wizard said, I love it. On my wife's cheese scale, it's Velveeta. I don't think it's that cheesy, actually, in a lot of ways. I mean, I think it's aged very well.
Yeah.
It really has. I think it hasn't got anything that seems out of place or wrong in the film. There's nothing that makes you go, oh, that's not right now. You know, none of that kind of...
Yeah, which is pleasant. I don't have to go like, ooh, that didn't age well.
Yeah, exactly. But Eric says, I'm so gonna make my kid watch all these classics when he's old enough. If I were to tie him to a chair, I will. This is a film that's great. All kids love this. If you can get them into it, even if it's a bit old, it's absolutely fantastic. We've ticked another one of the movies off from our Summer of Popcorn season 2 list. That's the NeverEnding Story, which is just this song, absolutely brilliant. Well, next week we're back with even more fun. We are going to be watching Ron Dom.
I think I'm correct in saying it is another Paul Verhoeven classic.
Correct.
Yep. We are going to be watching Total Recall. So everyone, get your ass to Mars.
Total Recall.
Bring your best Arnie impressions.
Yes, best Arnie impression. The Arnie classic, which is going to be so much fun. It's a fantastic film. I can't wait for that. So everybody, I'm just coming to the end of this. The song's finished. Stay safe. Look after each other. Be kind. And we will see you in 7 days' time. So until then, bye-bye.
Bye.